What's up, everybody? I know it's been a while since we've done a live stream. I've been working a lot. We are actually going to be finalizing what's going to be like our new weekly segment show that will have a Q&A. We will still be doing a Q&A. But I figured we'll kick off that new series starting next year. I know you guys are going to have to wait until next year, which is what, like a couple of weeks. So, but to keep you guys all entertained, I do have a bunch of printers that need to be worked on. I am going to be doing the K1 before the end of the year because we have the K1 brand new in a box. But before that, I need to get printers like this off of my desk. So if you're wondering what the exploded printer here is, this is Krista's Ender 2 Pro. So we're going to be hanging out and working on her printer here. One of the things that has been lacking on this machine that I haven't updated, which I typically do on every single machine we have here, is change the layer fan. And one of the ones I actually found this when I was doing a upgrade on a customer's Ender 3 Neo. This is the Neo Solo, they call it, and I modified it to fit the Ender 2 Pro. Now, this duct should fit any Creality printer that has this style fan shroud. So where it's got this, whether it's got the CR Touch on it, or in this case, we have the NG Easy ABL Micro, or actually this is the Micro from the Pro Series. This is a Pro Micro. This is actually one of the prototypes. This is the printer we tested the Micro Probe on. If you're wondering why the cable looks a little different from our retail ones, it's because this was a prototype and it actually did not have shielded cable, but it still works great on here. So this printer you might recognize, this has the Revo CR in it. E3D sent us this over to test out. It's been a great little hot end, but we need to do the layer fan upgrade. So I took this off the carriage by just loosening the X-axis here, and I slipped the little belts out of the retaining clips here. So this one on here, I slipped the belts out, slid the carriage off, and it's just easier to work on. Now, this shroud is actually fairly easy to get off. The stock layer fan is held on with two M3 bolts, and factory default, it bolts up right here to the right of the hot end. So I unscrewed this. Now, the interesting thing is when this is on here, this is on the Ender 2 Pro and the Neo models, when this is in here, the layer fan is like right here. Do you guys notice this? It is almost completely, not completely blocked, obviously, but it's blocked pretty well by the design on this. So you see how little the fan, like you would think it would be centered here, but not only is this fan just like a little tiny fan, their fans are not that great, and it's a single-sided duct, it's being blocked. The intake is being blocked. So we're going to be getting rid of this, and we're going to be replacing it with my favorite type of fan used on layer fans, which is the 5015 fans. If you guys want to pick up a high-quality 5015 fan, we have them in our site or in our shop for $10 for 12 and 24-volt versions, and these are dual ball bearing fans, and these are our own fans that we have custom made for us. These things move a ton of air. So you can find other fans cheaper out there, but these are made to last years, not months, like the ones you get on Amazon and eBay that come in packs of like 10, for 30 or 40 bucks, because, they're going to give you a bunch because they know they're going to die. We prefer to send out quality parts instead of quantity of parts. So we're going to be putting this on here. So to get this off, if you have a fan or a shroud that looks like this, you actually only have one screw in the back here. So I'm going to kind of pop this back on because it's got some plastic retaining clips. Get that back on here, line that back up. And there's only one screw in the rear here, right there, that holds this on. So you unscrew that screw and this pops off. So we're going to take these two screws out of here holding the 40 millimeter fan. I've already changed this out to our 40 millimeter fans we sell. This actually is a version 1. We have a new 40 millimeter fan we sell that is actually quieter, even quieter than these, and fits a little better. You can tell this has got some time on it. You see the accumulated Remo hair on here. So we're going to take this out of here, but the fan still works, so we're going to keep it. So I'm going to take the screws out of here, and we're going to set these off to the side because we're going to reuse these screws onto the fan shroud. Now, this fan shroud is nice in that it only takes one additional M3 screw. M3 by 20 is typically what I use. I have my bin of random M3 screws. Let me just blow this out real quick. There you go. Get all the dog hair and cat hair and whatever else is in there. So she's a little dusty because we've been running her. I should say Krista's been running her. And I totally forgot that I have a fill light on this camera here, so I can actually get you guys some a little bit better lighting. So I have this in manual focus mode, so it hopefully won't try to hunt and hunt and hunt. So this fan we're not going to be modifying because we're not replacing that. If you are in a situation where your 40 millimeter fan is dying and you're ordering fans from us anyways, we carry these. These are 24 volt 40 millimeter fans. That's what you'll need for your hot end fan. And then again, the 5015 24 volt fans. I have reached out to the guy who made this. This is one I slightly modified. I actually had to increase the depth here on this side. But I'm currently talking to the guy to find out if we can license this to sell prints of it in our shop in ABS. This was done in a red ABS. I think this is a coax ABS I had laying around.
Also red?
Yeah, the salsa red. So I figured it'd go well since the accent colors on this printer are red. All right. So the first thing we're going to need to do is we need to disconnect the existing fan here. And I'm just going to snip these. Now, on the Creality printers, typically the yellow is your positive and the blue is your negative. So the red wire on our fan is going to go to the yellow and the blue wire is going to go to the black on our fan. And I am going to be using our quick solder connectors with a little heat gun. If you guys have been waiting on us to restock the heat guns, we will have some more tomorrow. I've got a large shipment coming in from one of our suppliers that has that along with a bunch of other stuff. And I'm actually going to be putting one more upgrade on this printer that we don't have in our shop yet. It's hiding out over here, and it's an Oldham coupler for the Creality lead screws. And we're going to put this on. I'm going to show you guys what this does. It'll actually give you cleaner prints and eliminate any sort of issues with Z-wobble on the lead screw. It's a very simple part, and we will have it be carrying these. I think the retail price is going to be right around $6. And it works with the anti-backlash nuts, and it also works with your stock lead screw nuts. So, all right, I'm just going to pull back the printer harness here, and we got the braiding here. I like to just pull it back so I have room to work, and then just take a piece of tape and wrap it around so it doesn't come forward. And splicing this in is really simple. I actually used the quick solder connectors that I'm going to be using in here on one of my printers. My Ender 5 Plus is back up and running. I actually used it to splice its fan wires. So if you guys don't want to be dealing with soldering, these quick solder connectors are great. And it's only like $2 for 5 of them. So you can see here, there's only 3 in here because I used 2 earlier today. And I'm going to use 2 more on this printer here. And what these allow you to do is if you suck at soldering, like I know a lot of people do, you can solder your wires and get a good connection and heat shrink them all at once by just using a heat gun. So yeah, they're awesome. So we have a ton of those. So I'm just stripping the wires here. And then I'm going to slide the quick solder connectors over the wires here, and we're going to pull them back. I'll make sure that it gets through there. Well, I'm trying to make a run for it. Where did it go? Oh, it's all the way over here. All right, so I'm going to put the quick solder connectors on the wires, and then we're going to twist the wires together to solder them. So it actually has a little thing of solder in here and adhesive, and they're really nice. I found the trick with these because I've seen people using them, and I wasn't a fan of them for a while because a lot of people that use them, they were trying to use a lighter, and you're not supposed to use a lighter. You actually got to use a heat gun with these for them to actually solder correctly. So again, we're replacing a Creality layer fan. So blue is going to go to my black wire on the fan. If you're not sure and you want to double check, you can take a multimeter to it and check the polarity when you tell your layer fan to turn on and see what it is. But I'm pretty confident as I've worked on quite a few of these Creality printers. So you want to make sure you get a nice mechanical bond, and I'm sure my fingers are in the way. But I'll show you guys what I mean by that. So we have a nice mechanical bond here. So I give it a light tug, see the wires are not coming apart. So now we want to slide the quick solder here over this, and we want to align the solder band that's in the center of this centered with the actual wires. So I'll zoom in here so you guys can see. So there we go. I might actually have to tone it down on the lighting. There we go. That's actually better. Adjust the focus here. So when you're aligning the quick solder thing, you want to make sure that this band is over the wire. So we're going to keep pulling this down until it's centered on the wires, and then we're going to hit it with the heat gun. So depending on your heat gun, well, depending on the heat setting to use, you don't want to go too crazy. If you're using our little handheld gun here, you want to go to about 300 to 350 C. You can see there it heats up pretty quick. And you're just going to want to take the solder seal here. I'm going to use the term solder seal and quick solder. We call them the quick solders. And you're going to want to start with the outer edge here and just kind of let that shrink down. And I usually do the outer sides here, so that'll then get the adhesive melted in there, and it'll get the wire all nice and melty. So it's not going to go anywhere. Now, I want to just work back and forth on the actual solder joint here. And you'll see it's now flowing into the wire. That's what you want to see. If you're not seeing that, you don't have enough heat. So if you want, depending on your heat gun, want to start off around like 150 C and then see if it'll melt it and then go up from there. So I'm going to come on the back side here and make sure this is all shrunk. And that's looking good. So now I'm going to do the same thing for the other wire. This is why I love these things, man. For just doing quick upgrades, these things are great. And I'm glad we found a good supplier for them to put them in the shop. So, and if you guys want ones for more than just the small wires, we do carry full assortments. Chris, if you want to throw that in the chat,
what?
It's a link.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, to the quick solder, the 5-pack of these small ones, and the 5-pack of the small ones, and the big assortment. So, and if you guys, like I said, I'm working with the guy who made this duct we're put on here to see about like licensing it because this is a non-commercial use. I give my info. Seeing if we can work out a deal on like buying the design so we can sell it. But if you guys want us to print it, we can do a custom print charge. This would be about $15 to have us print this, plus shipping. So probably around $20. And this would be an ABS. So to contact our print farm thing, we do have a $25 minimum as per on the page, but that's more for smaller stuff. I do make an exception for ducts and stuff. So if you guys do want this, you can contact us and we'll print it up in ABS. So again, I'm going to go ahead here. I'll zoom in because it is such a satisfying process. So again, I've got the solder portion over the wires here. And I see Tor joined. I wasn't sure if he was going to pop in or not. There he is.
Hi, Tor.
Or you get to watch.
Hello.
I was wondering why I accidentally turned my fan speed down. I was like, why is this taking forever to solder? There we go. So, oh, look at that. Yeah, I was just telling chat. I actually used these to fix the layer or the Hotend fan on my 5 Plus. My 5 Plus has been down for what, like 3 or 4 months now. And I said, screw it. I was like talking to a buddy on the phone, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna get this done while I'm chatting with him. So I'm a big fan of these, especially like on like a whole new printer build. I might go with the heat shrink method, but like for repairs and upgrades, I'm loving these things more and more because it saves me so much time.
Yeah, it's pulling out one tool instead of
having to pull out the heat gun and the soldering iron.
Yeah.
So yeah. And if you guys order, so like we have the SVO6 duct kit, and I know Tor, we're pretty close to having that the reality duct done, aren't we?
A bit more.
I know we're still, I know we're still testing. So, but our goal is one of the things we want to expand into is doing more ducts. So whether that's acquiring designs that are already made or making our own, that's on our roadmap for next year. All right, so I've got both these on here, and these are nice and secure. Now, all we have to do is mount this all back up. So I'm going to go ahead and slide this back over the rail here because I took it off to get it out of the way. I'm going to reattach my belt on the rear. All right, I'm put the tensioner back on. Tension's all the way at the lowest, so makes it easy. I do like these tensioners. This is something I'm just curious. Would people be interested in us getting like either metal or plastic tensioners like this for certain extrusion sizes? Because I feel like that's something that would probably sell really well. Because I'm a big fan of just being able to turn a knob instead of having to mess with like Allen wrenches and all this other shit.
I actually upgraded my Ender 3 with those, both the X and Y.
Yeah, I know they're out there, so it's not like something we wouldn't be able to get. No use reinventing the wheel. We'd just find a good supplier to get some in from. All right. Apparently, when I was cleaning up, I misplaced the original screw from this, so I'm gonna dig in my bin. It actually probably got tossed into this bin of screws. Here it is. I know it was one of these flathead 2mm hex head. All right. Oh, what's up? Luke's in the house. I haven't seen Luke around in a while. Is Luke coming back? Luke getting back in the printer scene?
Oh, I have
snap.
private chat up, not comments.
Mr. Luke. I haven't seen Mr. Luke in a while.
It's been a while.
It has
Luke
been a
should
while.
join us on StreamYards.
Yeah, Luke can. If you want to pop in, you can. All right, so I'm
me a
gonna put the
message.
I'm gonna put the fan in here. Now I want to make sure I have the label of the fan facing towards the heat sinks. When I put this in, I'm gonna put this all the way in here,
Hey, Derek.
and then we're gonna put the screws
Derek!
in here. Now I don't know if these stock screws will be long enough. I think they will be, but we'll find out. And we have 2 of them, so yeah, I know you've been around. I know you're lurking. You went from being super active to a lurker. So I know the feel. I know the feel. All right, so all right. I will say I am loving this this little Milwaukee screwdriver that I picked up. Look at that. I never thought I'd buy M12 stuff, but for the printers, this is awesome. And look at, I don't know if I showed you the story. Look how little. So I got on like a 2 torque setting. I can actually get the clutch to engage on the lowest. So we got 1 here. Like, so it won't strip screws out, which is nice.
I got this one.
Oh, you got a little DeWalt one?
Ryobi.
Ryobi. Is it, wait, Ryobi makes yellow stuff?
Green.
Is it green?
It's their yellow green.
Oh, okay. I was like, man, they're encroaching on DeWalt's territory of colors. Them are fighting words. All right, so on this one here, they've got a little retaining nub here, and so the fan kind of angles in. You got to kind of press it in here to go into the front. So you just kind of push it, and it snaps in, and then we need to put 1 M3 screw here. And the wire actually goes through the little cutout here, so it's got to get folded in like this, and then out the top with everything else. So it's a fairly quick upgrade. I found this duct because I was looking for a duct for a customer. Oh yeah, and there's one thing on the Ender 2 Pro. This little nubbin has to be trimmed. So this hits the extrusion because the extrusion is a flat face on here. But all we do is take the little snips and trim it off. If we do get the guy to license this to us, I'm probably just going to modify it so they all come with that just in the model. Just have it slightly less protruding just so it covers all the model. So this should just snap on here now.
Yeah, it wouldn't affect the...
No, it's not going to affect. So there we go. So that goes on here, and I'm going to double check the nozzle height. Nozzle height looks good. And all I need to do now is put a screw in the back here. And I'm going to take the original screw. And we're going to put that in there. Look at that. It's torquing out on a screw going into plastic. Is yours able to be adjusted that low?
It only has 2 settings, but it'll torque out on.
Yeah, this
plastic.
I mean this thing on like the drill setting is actually crazy powerful. I was really surprised. But like I have M18 stuff, and it's just even on the lowest setting, the M18 drills will just decimate all these small screws. So, and the funny thing is, if you guys ever use our screwdriver kits, I'm using the bits from our screwdriver kits with the 1/4-inch adapter that the screwdriver kits come with. So if you got a little screwdriver here,
that's what I'm using for mine.
That's what I'm using. This is my bits from our TH30 screwdriver kit with the adapter. So, all right. Well, now all I have to do is do a cable management. And that's it. So, do you see why I wanted? Oh, I got to put the screw in here. Yeah, that's another thing. So if we do end up like launching these as a product, like we did with the SV06, we will have it include the extra hardware for the fan here. So, but since this is just a one-off upgrade, I'm going to find a screw that fits there. Need like a 20 mil. I should have just grabbed my screw assortment because.
You have a question, Tim?
But who's yeah? Give me a sec. You know what's wrong with digging through your screw bin? All right, so I found like a 20. Is this a 20? It's probably should be M3 by 20.
M18.
Oh, that's Milwaukee. Yeah, M18 is Milwaukee stuff. That's the battery type. All right, so let's see. Is this a 20? There we go. M3 by 20. Because the fan's a 15 millimeter thick. The thing I will say I do like about using the driver here instead of my hand is this makes going into plastic bits a lot easier. I just set it to like the 1 or the 2 setting. The 1 setting seems to be a little more forgiving. The 2 sometimes will strip out plastic parts, but you can feel it when it starts grabbing. So there we go. And I just got to manage the cables. Yeah, when I got into power tools, I had an old DeWalt 18 volt. It was their XRP. It was like their NiCad series that my dad got me, and I still have that drill. It still works. But I have an adapter to put the Milwaukee batteries onto it because the NiCad batteries have long since deteriorated to the point where they don't work anymore. So,
yeah.
All right. So we have extra wire here. I'm going to go ahead and just fold this into the harness here. And slide this into the loom. There we go. I forgot there's also those connectors from the Revo in here too. I was like, why is it so chunky up there? All right. Grab my zip ties, which are out over here because I was using them earlier. Yeah, I see Derek talking about the power tools are great to get the hammer T-nuts in. Yeah, I used that earlier today because I had to reattach the spool holder to my Under 5 Plus because somehow it came off. I must have taken it off at some point and never put it back on. And I just put the bit on there and just sent it, and it bit because it's able to like twist it real quick compared to like trying to get your hand in there. So
I just love it for anything over M3 by 20.
Yeah. Well, and I got it because like as I'm working on printers, it's like, oh my God, like doing all these little screws over and over and over again is just like it kills my hands.
It's like zip, 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 done.
Yeah. So, but I don't know if you guys like you saw previous live streams, I had like my M18 drills in here because I have their hammer drill and their regular brushless drill. And even those on lowest setting will strip out the M3 screws. So I had to stop using it. So I was like, I got to get a small one. I was like, oh, they make like a screwdriver. I was like, this is exactly what I need. Now, I dropped a bit. Now, one thing I did on this mount here, when I increased the clearance back here, is this allows the Easy ABL mount that we already have designed to work with this shroud. So this bolts into the factory CR Touch. They intended to be able to use a CR Touch on here, which is funny because they started shipping printers with boards that can't have their firmware updated. So that's kind of funny.
Bit counterintuitive, but
Yeah,
it's reality.
But when I noticed that the dimensions here were too tight for it to fit over our mount, I figured it's better just modify the mount because it doesn't matter if that hole's open or not. A little more, so it'll fit right over here. So there's no firmware changes needed for this upgrade. Like this is just a bolt it on, change it out, and that's it. Like so we're done with the upgrades. We're gonna just plug this in and make sure it turns on. So our fan kicked on here. Now, Krista, be careful not to put your fingers in the fan. Oh, I pissed off the fan. I don't know when it's auto restart time. Did
Tell me not to do
I was like, there we
yourself.
go. Well, I was being funny.
Doofus.
So the funny thing is, these fans, it will auto restart. They have an auto restart feature. It should kick on in a sec. There it goes. And the fan is actually way quieter without the grill on here. So he has a design that has a grill. One, you're going to get more cooling through here with no grill. Two, it's going to be quieter even with the stock fan because there's no grill here to amplify the noise. So this is actually really quiet. Like I can barely even hear the fan now. So, all right, let's just make sure everything works. We're going to go ahead and auto home this. Yeah, I saw that Noctua released a fan. I'll see what I'm curious to know what the price is. Tor and I were just talking about that. Did you see what they're selling them for?
I think they were $16 or so.
Holy shit!
15
that's way higher than I expected. Okay, so our fans are still a pretty damn good buy at $10. I don't think those are ball bearing fans, are they though? Because all of our fans, I think now, because aside from like the 12 volt 40 millimeters, because those are like when we didn't have custom made, I think those are sleeve bearing still. But I think all of our like main fans we have are all ball bearing now. So, all right, I'm gonna see if the layer fan turns on. Got a temperature here. I'm gonna set the fan speed. I'm gonna set it to 100. There we go. All right. I'll just drop it down to like 50. There we go. 22. Let's see. I don't know if our fans will go down to 10. Will they? Apparently our fans spin down to 10%. I did not know that.
$14.95.
Yeah, okay, so they're 50% more than our fans. I don't want to hear anybody bitching about our $10 fans. So we have a V2 of our.
You also have to have
quieter
a connector back.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a PWM fan, so you have to cut it down from 4 to 2 wire.
Yeah, that's okay. I'm not worried at all then. I'm going to post a link to our fan, which is the one that goes here. And the thing is, we did with our new fan, we have it so it's got the cutouts for the Creality posts, so it fits better. But actually, I take it back. Ours is only $8.99. I thought they were $10. So this is a dual ball bearing fan. I'll actually just share this here. So so here, ours is a dual ball bearing fan. Is a Noctua ball bearing or is it sleeve bearing?
SSO2 is what they listed as.
What does that mean? What is SSO? What's the part number on the Noctua one?
Yeah, I'll just send you the link.
Yeah.
Okay.
Be easier just to pull up the page.
Yeah. But let's see. Ours here. So ours is 6.2 CFMs, 26.5 decibels, 5,500 RPMs. That's the specs on our fan here, and we got reverse polarity protection. Let's see. Yeah, 1495.
5,000 RPM.
And, okay, so ours is only 500 RPMs faster. Ours is 26 decibels. What are they rating theirs at? Oh, here's the other thing. This is the thing that I don't like about the Noctuas. This is only 4 CFMs. You're going to have overheating issues on certain printers, especially the Crealities. That was the problem with their 5-volt fans, is they were low. They were
Wait,
low.
they list us
low.
4 CFM.
It says right here.
And then
4 CFMs.
I did a converter.
Yeah, and it has an adapter, so you have to have an adapter on here. I don't know what an SSO2 bearing is. So ours is 6.2 CFM. So we're 2.2 CFMs higher at 26.5 decibels, 500 RPMs higher. Ours also has more blades than theirs. Look at all this extra crap it has. Ha! Look what they're including. Hey Tor, do you think the Noctua marketing department was looking at our site? We actually have these little UI connectors.
They've had those for years. I got them in packages of Noctua fans. Yeah.
I have Noctua fans in my computer, but I've never gotten those in the computer stuff.
5.24 is what their converter is saying from their specs on their site.
Oh, I'm reading this wrong. 4CM. Sorry, I read it as CFM. I'm stupid. What did you say? It was what's the
5.24. So
okay, so that's
not much better.
So ours will still give you a little more cooling. What's their decibel rating? I don't see their decibel rating on here. Is it further down?
I sent you the second link I sent you was their tech specs.
Okay, SSO
from their site.
Okay, so their SSO bearing, I don't think that's not a ball bearing then. That's a fancy sleeve bearing. Because if it was a ball bearing, they would say it's a ball bearing. Stabilization. I mean, they make good fans.
A starting voltage of at least 17 volts.
Okay, so you have to ramp it up to full speed then before you can drop it down.
So they would need fan fix.
Yeah.
Or no, didn't I thought Scott fixed that.
So they're saying I'm going to look at their official site instead of this one. I'm just curious.
That should be the second link I sent you.
Yeah, I'm pulling it up right now. Hang on. Specifications here. Let's see.
No, SSO2.
So they're 26 decibels. So ours is going to be like 6. Ours is going to be like, what is that, 7 decibels higher roughly, which is not much.
Self-stabilizing oil pressure bearing.
Okay, so it's a sealed. Let's see. Provides higher precision, longer longevity than a conventional ball sleeve or hydrodynamic bearing. It's like an oil-filled one.
Mm-hmm.
Base metal bearing shells. Interesting. I mean, either way, they're decent. They make decent fans, but like, at least the fan rating is higher in terms of the CFMs, because I think the other ones people were put on were like 4, and that was too low. I'm gonna look here because it was like the 5mm 4010s is what people were putting on there.
They were also putting the 5-volt ons with.
I know. Yeah. So I'm looking here. So it was probably like I've seen like these like the lower speed ones. These don't really have the.
Have a good night.
Rate or the dB rating. Oh wait, yeah, this is the dB rating. Okay. They don't have the airflow in CFMs, right? You have to do a conversion.
Yeah.
Why can't they just put the conversion onto there?
They give you a calculator.
I know, but it seems like marketing like just give them the conversion. So it's like they're using the number that's a higher number to make it look better. I don't know. Let's see. So I think most people ran. Okay, so it's a 4010. So people were running these, the 5-volt 4010. This is what people were putting on their printers for the longest time, and they were having heat creep. Okay. So where's the specs here? Because I want to see what the airflow is. So here they got their calculator. So it's 8.2. So it's only 4.8 CFMs. So it's about half in terms of when you do the conversion. So yeah, like the thing is, the lower you go on the airflow, the more you're going to risk overheating your heatsink on the fan. That's why like those 24-volt ones I have are better. Like these are better than what they had. But I still would be hard pressed to run these on a printer just because of how low the airflow is. So on stuff with like a V6, and stuff with a bigger heatsink like a V6, it'd probably be fine. You know, like on the I feel like I talked about this in the video we have. It's an older one. On the bigger heatsink fans, they're fine, but you can see ours. We got more fan blades. It moves a little bit more air, and these are quieter than our previous ones. Because people's complaint with these was on certain printers because of like the fan grill design. These were the fan grill design amplified the noise from the fan's motor. So like the Orion ones we used to use before we got our own brand ones like these, they would seem louder than the other ones, but it was actually because of the housing they were in. But like this on a fan housing where there's no grill or the grill's further away, they're very quiet. But this new one is a lot quieter than the old ones, and these are also ball bearing instead of sleeve bearing. So they're just a lot better fan. And if you notice here, because the Crealities, they have those posts that the fans are meant to go on. That's what these recesses here are for. So we actually specifically ordered this style chassis for the fan so that this will fit over the post, because certain Creality printers have those little metal posts that the fans sit on. So we addressed the two things people had complaints with on the version 1 of these. So they're quieter and they fit better. So the fan page pick is the fan on a Hotend. What are you talking about?
They have it on Mark IV.
Oh yeah, on the Prusa. Yeah, because Prusa's always used them, but Prusa designed his printer to take the lower flow fans. Like that's the thing. His printers were designed to take it. The V6 heatsinks have a lot of fins, so they don't need as much airflow because they have more surface area to dissipate the heat. Whereas the Creality heatsinks are tiny in comparison.
They have a lot more aluminum as well.
Yeah, I think I have both.
I actually might have both. Do I have a scale?
You know, the V6 in here. Hang on. I got a fan which is similar to a V6. V6 are one of our top products in here.
I have a V6. Let me see if I have a Creality.
I must have used them all on builds because I've been doing a lot of printer builds. Here, I can just show this though. So this is a Fadus Dragonfly BMO, which is a V6 style design. And you can see how much surface area this has on it, okay? This was actually on Bertha. I'm saving this for another printer build at some point. But you can see how much surface area you have with the heatsink. Now, this is a Creality Hotend. You can see there's significantly less area for it to cool. Yeah, there's like the inside diameter here, like, I don't know, there's maybe like 4 millimeters from the center to the outside of fin, versus the heat sinks like this. These don't need as high flow of a fan. So that's the whole thing. Yeah, and I see here, and this is not just me talking on my ass. Luke can vouch for this. Here, Noctua has sabotaged thousands of users because modding fanboys not paying attention. Yes. I still will just hide people from the channel that go on our video where I'm talking about not using the Noctua 4010 5-volt fans because they cause heat creep. They're like, you're just lying. It works fine. No, it doesn't. And I'm not going to give people...
for very special use cases it does.
Yes, and some printers it does, but on these Creality printers, you need something that has more airflow. That's why we don't sell them.
Creality ain't it? Like, there's no directed flow over it either. It's just
no. Even this is just like a general. Yeah, that's what this is. It's just a fan in the box. All right, so I'm gonna put. I guess Krista just gets all the new goodies. I'm gonna put this new lead screw Oldham coupler on her printer here, which we should have coming in a couple of weeks. My brother Doug's been testing these out on his machines, and
I have them.
Yeah, do you have this specific one? I know you had the ball ones, but these are a lot simpler. There's no balls loose. So basically,
no, I had both.
You've had both? Okay. So these are the style I have come in, and these are really nice. And I would probably recommend, I'm going to do this, I'm going to put a little bit of white lithium grease in here just to give it some lubrication so it slides even smoother. But this basically goes in between your bracket and the lead screw nut here. So it's not a hard installation, and we're going to do it right now. This printer is a little bit tight corners because of the extruder right there, but we're gonna make it work. So I'm gonna go ahead and take the 2 screws out here. I'm gonna have to take the extruder off, aren't I? Can I get it in here at an angle?
Yeah.
Oh,
These are really good for separating the XY motion.
oh, it's gonna hit the gear. I gotta take the extruder. I gotta take the extruder off. Damn, I thought I could get away with not taking the extruder off.
You
Oh
tried.
well, it's not that big of a deal. It's 3 screws. All right. Take this one off. Make sure not to lose a little lock washer. Take this one off here. And honestly, this is going to be one of those upgrades once we get it. I'm probably putting on all of our machines. All right. So I'm now going to undo the lead screw down here. I'm going to loosen up the lead screw coupler down here so I can get the lead screw out. There we go. And there goes my screwdriver. Oh, and there's 2 little lock washers too on top of there. That's funny. We're not going to need those. But what I want to do is pull this up out of the coupler down here. Apparently, I got to open it up a little more. There we go. And I want to take this out of here. And basically, we want to take the existing lead screw nut here, and we're going to screw it onto this guy here. Okay. Now, this is pretty simple because these all come apart. So I can take the lead screw here, and these are threaded in here, inside here. So I'm going to take the screws that come with it. They actually include in these kits, they include a bunch of screws and nuts. We're only going to need 2 of the M3 screws. And I'll zoom in here so you guys can see what I'm doing here. And like I said, we'll have these in a couple of weeks for purchase in the shop. So you basically put the screw through the top here into the existing nut. Screw it down. And this will probably fit the Solval printers too. Anyone that uses these Creality like size lead screws. Bless you. All right. So then basically what we do then is we slide this on. This goes back onto the lead screw, and then this bolts up to the bracket instead of the lead screw nut itself. So basically this allows it to move in all directions. So if there's any wobble, it doesn't get translated into your axes. So before I do this, and this is optional, I'm just going to do this because it never hurts to lubricate things. I'm going to take my white lithium grease here. And I'm going to be fancy. I got little Q-tips, little cloth Q-tips here. I'm just going to put some lithium grease on here. And I'm going to put it into the channels here. I'll put some on the side here. And on the other side here. And then I'm going to get this channel too on the other side. There's 4 channels, 2 on each one. Get some more lube. And just get the faces too. Basically anywhere the metal parts are going to mate up. And we do sell white lithium grease in our shop. I don't know if you guys know that. I like the super lube, but like in terms of the price, I feel like the white lithium grease lasts a little bit longer than the super lube. So I'm going to take this and put this back on. Oh, that's nice and slippery. All right. And since I got extra grease, I'm just going to put it all in here too. All right.
Yeah.
Put that in there. All right. Cool. So I'm going to go ahead and put this back on the lead screw and screw this back in, and then that install is done. So really, really simple little upgrade here. That'll just help your Z-axis not be as wobbly. I'm just going to put the 2 factory screws back in. Oh, you know what? I think they give you I think they give you 4 screws because I think you got to put the shorter ones in. I'm looking at how deep these are going to go. Oh no, those aren't going to hit anything. Okay. What did Luke say?
Those aren't going to
Liquid silicone with PTFE. Yeah, everybody's got their preference. I used to use Super Lube a lot, and then I just started doing the white lithium grease because it just works, and it's not super expensive either. The Super Lube can get pretty expensive, but it is good stuff. I feel like the lithium grease, you can also use it for packing bearings too. That's the one reason why we got it in the shop, is we sell bearings that do need to be packed, like the linear, the Element you use. So, all right, I'm going to tighten these down. And like I said, it should work with the stock screws. If not, it does include the additional one. So look at this. Check this out. See how that moves? It allows the lead screw to rotate. Look at that. Chris, you see how that works? It can get all weebly wobbly, and it doesn't matter. So it can go this way. It can go this way. It doesn't matter. Yeah, I've used a 3-in-1 PTFE. That stuff is good. I actually am out of it. But what the funny thing is, man, I did not realize how much this lead screw was pressing on the
pushing
nut
up
here.
against one side.
Yeah.
I have to adjust mine because it started to grind a little bit against the side.
All right. And I don't think this is going to interfere with anything going down here. Oh, I was tightening down my bit stuck in the screw head. So yeah, the 3-in-1 PTFE. I have a bottle of that somewhere. Yeah, any lube is better than no lube. Pick your lubes. But like I said, I just want to mention we do carry white lithium grease now, and 1 tube is like $7. It goes a long way. All right. Why are we not biting it? What the hell? Do I have a screw that's too short on here? This one's not biting it. I must have a screw that's shorter than the other. Somehow. Ah, get out of here. Unless, you know what I'm wondering? I wonder if the I wonder if like the motor, I wonder if that hole's stripped on the motor.
No, just pull the motor out and check.
Oh yeah, it is. What the fuck?
Because
Okay.
you're using your power tool.
No. No, I didn't use it to put it on there. Yeah, that's why it's not biting in.
Yeah, just turn the motor.
I'm just well, no, the cable doesn't reach. I got motors.
Oh.
They've got all sorts of motors.
Hotend.
I actually just switched one out on my. Switch it out on my Ender set or Ender 5. I put a pancake on, so I have a regular motor just chilling here. I was like, why is this not going in? So the damn thing is stripped. I'd be more willing to bet that happened with when it was at Creality getting built.
Would not.
Why
No, you
is
would have
this-
caught that when you were installing the.
Well, unless it was like just barely stripped, and because I've taken the extruder on and off a couple of times, now it's worked its way, loose. I don't know. I could like put something in the hole, but I have tons of extra motors just from working on the printers over the years. Oh, it would help if I put the drive gear onto the extruder motor. Chris will be wondering why her printer's not extruding any filament.
Probably.
Like, Tim, you broke my printer.
Yeah, good job, Tim.
We'll see if I might have to repin the motor cable, but we'll find out. I'll tell it to me. Might have to repin it. Depending on the pin out of this motor versus the Creality one. We'll find out. Yeah, I'll put this on the low torque set. Yeah, it's going. There we go. So a little tiny Ugga Not the big Ugga.
Pretty sure it already has Easy Neos on there.
No, it doesn't.
No, it does not. There's really no good way to mount Easy Neos on this printer, unfortunately. I know my buddy Kyle figured out how to get it on his end.
Kyle's the one that commented that.
Oh, is he?
Yeah. Yeah.
Of course.
Okay,
So now that I know that
I'm-
this is like not straight here, I'm gonna move the motor a little bit on the Z. I'm loosening up the two bolts that hold it to the frame. I'm gonna kind of let it, because we do want it to be centered as much as possible.
Should probably print out one of those adjustable motor brackets for the Z.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter now. So you can see there, it's more center now, but it can still move.
Well, yeah, just for those who are really bent, and you should probably move it a bit to get it more centered.
Yeah, so
you don't
her
want it
lead screw is
rubbing.
not really that bent. No, this you can see, look, it's not rubbing.
Yeah.
So there we go. I like that. Nice, simple little upgrade. Remove one more variable that could impact print quality. All right, let's see if that extruder motor's happy with the pinout of the Creality cable. Because that's the thing, when you guys replace motors, like a NEMA 17 is a NEMA 17. However, the wiring can vary from motor to motor. So I'm going to see.
Luke, Tim is easily distracted, though. This
What's
is
he
just background noise. He
What does he
rebuilt
say?
a full Ender 3 Neo since he hopped in the stream.
Yeah. It must not have needed much work. All right, so I'm going to see if I got to heat the hot end up. Although, I think it should let me override it. Move extruder. Hot end too cold. Proceed. Damn right I want to proceed. I want to see if it'll move or if it's just going to shake. Oh, no, it moves. And it's moving the correct direction. Look at that. I lucked out. Just a direct swap in. Hell yeah. I love when things actually go as planned.
Huzzah.
Yeah, it's a 50-50 shot. If you change a motor on a printer, if it's going to work, you're going to have to repin the cable. It's either going to work or it's not going to work.
Was this train wreck?
So I'm going to double check and see here. We want to see how the M48 probe test is. So I want to see what this comes back with, and I'll do it live. I'll show you guys the results here. See what it gets. We want under 0.01. Oh, look at that. So those Oldham couplers do not affect the accuracy at all. Look at that. 0.001241.
There we go.
Mm.
I'll have it on the
And do you see how quick that was? If that was a BL touch, it'd probably just be finishing up by now. All right. Well, I think we can probably run a print then. Yeah, these are so I ended up I was looking at these couplers and then I was over at Doug's house and he was showing me. I was like, I really like those. Like, how have you been liking them? He's like, I've been running them for months. I was like, yeah, I think that's something I need to get in the shop. Because like it's so nice. Like, look at the lead screw can move freely and it doesn't translate. If you have a bent lead screw, it doesn't translate anything into your axis, which means the whole printer isn't shaking. So if you guys have any other recommendations,
Yeah,
if you
now
guys have found
transfer
any,
into the print.
yeah, that's the whole thing. Is it makes it so that any issues with the lead screw will not transfer into the print. That's the whole point of it.
While I do like the Bobble X, they are a
Aside from when,
pain if anything goes wrong.
yeah, like when the ball bearings go flying.
Yeah, there's little magnets, but those
That's why I didn't
don't
get
do
them
well.
because I was looking at them. I was like, one, these look expensive, and two,
Yeah,
there's
they
a
were like
lot of
$20
room.
a piece.
Yeah, these are going to be like $5 to $6 a piece, $6 tops. Like, yeah.
Jesus, Luke, holy cow!
Luke is trying to say he has no life without saying he has no life. All right, I'm gonna unload the film in here. I got some of our Easy Choice Silver PLA. This is left over from a customer job I did. That's why there's like nothing on the spool. Kyle, you need to tell me how you put them on here because aside, like I can't mount them to the back. I mean, I guess I could drill and tap some holes, but
He posted it in Discord.
did he?
Yeah.
Okay. Hang on, I'm gonna load the film in here. I have been using the load filament option on our firmware way more. At least to just like get it into the extruder. Oh yeah, I forgot. I had where's her PTFE clip? Extruder. I had it over here. The little yellow one or the orange one. Do you know what I'm talking about, Thor?
What was that?
The PTFE clips for the puff extruders. Will the little blue ones fit?
Those should fit, yeah.
Oh yeah. All right, that'll work. Cool. All right. Let me push it in the rest of the way here. I'll double check that the extruder motor is doing its job. Purge. There we go. It's pooping plastic. Oh yeah, it's got plenty of torque. Cool. Pooping the plastic. What's up, Tactile 3D Picture? That's a name. We've got, how many people we got watching? We got 2 on Twitch, 17 on YouTube, and none on Facebook. Facebook like never gets any views. All right. What should we print now? I'm gonna have to get an SD card because I don't have a.
Cali Dragon.
I really need to put a Pi on the desk and just leave it there to hook printers up to when I'm working on them. Like just have like a USB cord there. That would be nice. Well, I guess I could just plug it into my computer via USB. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and slice this up in Prusa slicer. Prusa. Let's see. Do I have a profile for her printer on here? I do not.
I'm not special.
That's okay. I can make one. Printer settings. So we're gonna make a new printer profile here. So I'm gonna start with my Ender 3 because my Ender 3 one is probably pretty close. So I'm gonna save this as save as 2 Pro, and then I need to change the. Isn't it? It's one. Is it 180 by 180? Or is it 165? Ender 2 Pro build volume. Let's see here. I've got to look it up. 165, 165, 180. So 165, 165, 180. All right, so there we go. I'm going to save that. And I can't give thoughts on the BTT Pi. I haven't used one. I do know spec for spec though. They're slow as shit compared to the Pi 4. They're fine for Clipper and stuff. They might be okay for Octoprint, but they are much slower than a Pi 4. I do know that because they're using the cheap rock chip one, like a slow rock chip.
They're also purpose built for printing more
Yeah,
than
they're
the Pis are.
Yeah, they do have because they can run off of 24. They're more for like Clipper people that want to power the thing off of the what's the word I'm looking for? They want to power it off of the printer. So for me, I don't want to power my stuff off to the printer because I use Wi-Fi plugs on all of my printers. So the printer gets shut down instead of it sitting there idle. Because I don't know if you guys know, your printer power supply just sitting there idle takes about 10 watts of power. So 1 or 2 printers, not that big of a deal. We have 30 plus. I do not want to have 30 plus printers at 10 watts of printer sitting here idling. The easy plugs, like the Wi-Fi plugs we sell, those take 0.04 watts. So we actually save money on electricity turning the printers off with Wi-Fi plugs. And like even factoring in the Pi running, the Pis only take 3 to 4 watts just sitting there idle. So with the plug and the Pi, we're less than half the power draw of just letting the printer idle there. And the other thing too is if your printer's sitting there idling and your fans are on all the time, you're also wearing your fans out too. So I'm not a fan of powering your SBC off of the printer power. I'm a fan of having it separate. So that way it can control the printer power through a Wi-Fi plug and shut it off. And the other thing too is if you have your printer on a Wi-Fi plug, and this has saved our ass, literally prevented a fire, the Wi-Fi plug, at least with Octoprint, I don't know if Clipper has the option to do this. I know it has option to turn plugs on and off, like it supports Tasmota, but I don't know if it supports like with the Tasmota plugin in Octoprint, where if there's a problem with the printer, it will kill the power, which is the equivalent of you going to the printer if there's an issue and pulling the plug out, except this all happens automatically. So there are trade-offs to powering your SBC, your Pi, or whatever you're using for your SBC off of the printer's power supply. Yes, you can run off the power supply. You don't have now a separate wall wart. Or in my case, I have a PoE splitter, so all my Pis run off my PoE switches. But if you shut the printer off with a Wi-Fi plug and the SBC is powered from the printer, basically what you want to do is set up a script that sends the command to the Wi-Fi plug because Tasmota supports timers. You can have it say, hey, I know my SBC takes like 30 seconds to shut down. So you can tell the Wi-Fi plug when the print's done, hey, shut down in a minute, and then have the SBC shut itself down. So basically by the time that command runs, the plug now starts a 60-second countdown, and it's going to shut off in 60 seconds. And after that 60-second command is sent, the SBC starts a shutdown process, so it safely shuts down. Because an SBC is a computer; it's single board computer. So you don't take your computer, unless you're an idiot, you don't unplug your computer to shut it off or turn the power switch off. You let it safely shut down. But that's just what I do. You guys can do whatever you want. They're your machines and your power. My solution is to run the SBC from its own power source, whether that's a wall wart or it's off of a PoE splitter, and then have the printer shut down with a Wi-Fi plug. One, it gives me the convenience of saving the power. It gives me the convenience of turning the printer on and off with the Wi-Fi plug. And additionally to that, it gives me another layer of safety should something go wrong with the printer, which has happened here. Like if you guys look on our channel, you'll see that we had an issue where the plug killed the printer because we had a switch on our SV06 arcing, and to the point where it was smoking and melting the terminals. So, and that, I'm going to say that's prevented a fire here. I think that would have probably caught on fire if it didn't have that switch on there. Which that would have been bad. So, all right, I got the SD card in. Okay, Cali Dragon. I'm going to go ahead and print. Oh, crap. Yeah, we do not want that print to run. It's sliced for ABS. I mean, the Ender 2 will hit, the Ender 2 Pro will hit ABS temps. But we're not printing with ABS. Oops. I just sliced up an ABS job, so that's why it was set to ABS temperatures. All right, let's try that again. So, but yeah, I see, I don't know if Scott's still watching. Even Look at Rain said the Pi 4 has a much faster SoC/IO. So, yeah. I'm not saying that the BTT Pi is bad. It's just versus a Pi 4, the Pi 4 wipes the floor with it in terms of performance. The thing is, you don't need a ton of horsepower for your printer. You need enough to run everything, like whether it's Octoprint or Clipper. And that's one of the reasons we will not be going to the Pi 5s for our Easy Pi kits, because the Pi 5s, one, they take over twice the power to run. Two, they're more expensive. Three, they need a more expensive power adapter. And there's no point.
Yeah, the Pi 4 is already overpowered for what we're using.
Yeah, there's no point in going faster. Luke, you need 5 packs of LCD screens. Luke, if you need bulk LCD screens, you have my info. Contact me. If you're buying, if you need a bunch, I can hook you up. I stock them. I have tons of the Creality ones. I got 100 more showing up tomorrow. So, yeah, the 02W, I think that's the same SoC as the Pi 3B, right? If memory serves correct. The 2W,
Yes,
I think that's a
3B.
quad core. Because the 01, I have a 01 in my Pytrex part. And I know that's a single processor, so 1 gigahertz. They're pretty slow. The 01, they even tell you for Octoprint, do not run them for Octoprint. They're horrible. Slightly better than the 3B. So here's the thing. We have 3B Pis, like the old 3Bs and the 3B Pluses and 4s all running here in production. Obviously, as the 3Bs and the 3B Pluses die, we replace them with 4s, but there's still plenty to run Octoprint with a 1080p webcam. But I think, I don't know if the BTT Pi is even as fast as the 3B, or is it basically the same? I'd be curious. Because if it's as fast as a 3B or 3B Plus, it's actually not terrible. But I remember reading that they were really slow, comparatively. I did not baby step quick enough. Hang on, I'm going to restart that. That thing is moving. I'm going to double check, because I feel like the E-steps are not moving as fast as they should have. Oh, they're at 95. What the hell?
What did you do?
I was like, I feel like it's
You
under
forgot to enable
extruding.
custom E-steps.
Yeah. I wonder how long it's been like that. Didn't you do a print, Krista?
Yeah, we did the screws.
How? These steps are not set there, because this is, I did not update the, you know what? I did update the firmware. I forgot to set the E-step in the firmware. That's fine. I'll store it in EEPROM for now. Although I probably should update the, I'm going to update the firmware before the end of tonight, because if she ever resets her E-step or EEPROM on here, it's going to go back to the 95. I was like, man, that is not, it's not pushing that much plastic. I was like, something's off here. All right, I'll build her config. Oh yeah, the easy firmware site's all working again, Tor. I don't know if I told you that.
You did, yeah.
Did I? Okay. Well,
Yeah.
while we're waiting for that to start, I'm going to go ahead. Yeah, because I was like, I think I updated, because everything I put on, I put input shaping on her printer here, just so, because I want to tune it, obviously. I'm running through the custom E-steps 407 is what we want for this one. Let's try that again. No, so this is not a BMG clone. A lot of people think it is because it looks like one. This is not a BMG clone. This is our own. It's like a BMG screw to Titan extruder, and it has dual drive gears and 3-to-1 gearing ratio. All right, I just made her config. It's compiling now. You know, the shmoo off the bed. Actually, I'm gonna do a thing here. How many of you guys want a 50% off code for the bed cement? Have you guys tried our bed cement? This bottle's a little faded because I've been using it for a bit. Oh, I can't even show it. Oh, Chris has got one there. Oh yeah, now it's pushing more filament. I thought when I told it to purge, it looked a little slow. But I just assumed that my dumbass would have set the E-steps correctly.
Nope.
What are you trying to say, Tor?
Huh?
What are you trying to say,
I
Tor?
don't know what you're talking about. Huh? How's it going, chat? You guys having a nice night?
Let's go to Rocky Mountain next year.
All right, she going.
Island.
Yeah, this one's 407. This is 407 E-steps. So it's a little more, got a little more gearing than your standard BMGs and BMG clones. I love our extruders. I don't think we've had, I think we've had only one return on them, and it was user error because that extruder I went and put on one of our print farm machines.
Yeah.
We've sold hundreds of them at this point. There we go. So this is just an 80 millimeter second slice on here. I'm just gonna send it. We're gonna do 200%. Let's see if the Revo can keep up.
We're gonna try to head out to Rocky Mountain next year.
Yeah, we should be there. We are a sponsor, so
Yeah.
Probably didn't store the input shaping, did you?
I didn't do an input shaping test, so it's just running whatever the default is right now. It's not really gonna hurt anything.
No. If it's ringing before and it's ringing after, it doesn't really change anything.
Yeah, it's the default of I think 40.
40.
I can hear that it's on. I was a little close to the bed. So the first layers are a couple of smush. To be fair, it was going pretty quick. I'm used to the bigger printers that are a little bit less aggressive on like the acceleration stuff, but we set the accels pretty high on the smaller printers because they can do it.
Yeah, my Revo's chooching away.
Well, now Krista's printer's got all the upgrades I would like. Should you 165 G code for input shaping? Yeah, I got to reset that up. All right, I'm going to save her. Oh, yeah, Kyle, while we're waiting for that to go, Kyle said he posted in Discord, was in the VIP section.
Lounge.
Wait. Where? Oh, you put... Oh, okay. Yeah, he put an extra piece of extrusion, which I do have extrusion in the print farm. I'm going to show you what he did. I don't know if I like that, though. It looks weird. But I guess there's really no other option to putting lighting on that printer.
You could.
I'm gonna share it,
but it's going to be a bit more flimsy, and you're more likely to snap it.
So this is what he did with his. You can see here he added a piece of extrusion on top, which this wouldn't be hard. Just two holes on the left here. Oh, you can see my cursor. So like two holes. Oh, two holes on the left here to go through the top. You know, I might even have like cutoffs of the Ender 3s that because we've had Ender 3s we've decommissioned. It just looks weird because I know it's a cantilever, but it's like I wish there was a better way to mount lights up here, you know?
Yeah. I was thinking a printed mount, but
like
I would ideally like
So here's the thing. We could try to put something on the rear of the machine. So we do have some screw holes available to us. So like if we look at the printer, I'm gonna flip it around. Hopefully I don't have to plug it. So we do have a couple of screws that we can tap into. So we have the one that holds the tensioner, and we have the one here that holds the bracket. So if we designed something that came off of this and had a flat surface to mount it, because if it came out to here and sat just below the wheel here, it wouldn't get in the way of anything. So if we had like basically an arm that came out like here, and then like a flat piece that we could screw using the O2, and then have it bolt onto here too.
Two-part design where it's just
just like you, and then use the strip itself as like the connecting
backbone.
Yeah, I mean it's PCB, it'll do it.
Because that would just be a lot of
material, and then it could be printed on this printer if it was 2 parts.
Well, yeah, that's more what I was thinking about. It's going to be a really long part.
Can you see if you can find a CAD model of this printer?
Yeah.
No, I just realized you can actually see the print better from behind. And Kyle, if you want, I don't know if the guy will be upset if I post my modded file, but I have the modded file that works with our Easy ABL. You can see here that we are getting some under extrusion on the infill. The outside looks fine. I'm willing to bet if I turn the speed back down to 100, or I'll go down to 150% because I slice this at 80. I gotta get Prusa. I think next year, 2024 is the year Krista ditches S3D because I still have her on S3D.
You
get her on Prusa Slicer. Hey, it works for her. I set up the profiles for her printers, and she's been able to print with it. It does. S3D doesn't, and it's version 4 because you guys know I did not pay. I got a refund for 5. Because
I didn't pay for 5 because I saw what
Doug's
it was.
Doug's like one of the few people that I know that is sticking 5 out. I'm all in on Prusa Slicer now. I'm a Joe Prusa simp now. Just kidding.
He made good slicer.
Okay, look it. So I slowed it down to 150%.
He modified a good slicer.
So here, I put it down to 150%, and the infill is no longer under extruding. So it was just this is actually the Obsidian nozzle. I just realized this is the 0.4 Obsidian or Obex. You guys know what I mean.
Obsidian.
Yeah. The one that they sent us accidentally before the embargo was lifted. And she was like, please don't say anything about it. We did not mean to send those, but you can keep them as long as you don't say anything. I was like, that's fine. We won't say anything.
Works great though.
Yeah, Kyle, I'll just send you the I'll post it in the call to TH3. I'll post that STL in there. Because I don't know if the guy like allowed remixes or stuff, but I basically just cut out the back of it a little bit so it fit over the I think this is it. There you go. I just posted in the call to TH3D Discord channel. But yeah, there we go. Printer's all upgraded. Got our Oldham coupler on there. Got the 5015 upgrade. Brusa snubbed me the second time at Earth this year. I'll suffer S3D5 before I support his slicer. Yeah, he does have an ego. I've noticed. To be honest, if I had accomplished what he did, I probably would have a bit of one too. So the reason I went with Prusa Slicer originally was gonna go with Super Slicer, but it looks like I'm gonna check here and see.
I don't think Super Slicer's been updated. I haven't.
That's what I'm saying. I think they just abandoned it. The only reason I went with Prusa Slicer is because I know it's gonna keep getting updated. Yeah, so the last update was from September 23rd on 2022 on Super Slicer.
Yeah, that was when we were talking about it and saying it wasn't being updated. I mean, Creality has been as probably the biggest thorn in his side and in his wall.
Well, I think now the biggest thorn in their side is bamboo.
Bamboo.
I'm
With
gonna
the
say
A1,
some.
I'm pretty sure
I'm gonna
that's the
say
same
some.
size.
I'm gonna say some sacrilegious stuff right now on the channel. How many of you guys wants to see us do bamboo? Fuck you, Tor.
I almost bought one, and I'm so glad I
I
didn't.
know.
Because
Oh wait, hey,
came
Super
out.
Slicer had a release 3 weeks ago, or a pre-release. Sorry, pre-release. So they are still doing stuff. That's just not very rapidly.
Orca Slicer is doing a lot more right now.
Yeah, Orca, I didn't like how it. So Orca is a fork of a fork of a fork of a fork because Prusa Slicer is a fork of Slick 3R. Bamboo's Slicer is a fork of Prusa Slicer, and then Orca Slicer is a fork of bamboo. So Orca Slicer is a fork of bamboo that's a fork of Prusa that's a fork of Slick 3R.
Jesus.
There's a lot of forking going on, okay?
What the fuck?
Yeah, I know Bamboo is proprietary. Now here's the thing. I think Bamboo is getting ready to release new printers to replace the P1S and the X1 series. The P1 and the X1 series because
well, Thursday they're releasing their A1.
Right, which is that's fine. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like they're probably going to retire those soon because E3D just announced that they're making hot ends for it now when they originally said they weren't going to allow hot ends. So I'm wondering, here's the thing, if they start opening the platform up to modifications, I will find a way to basically neuter their network access to make it so they can't get access to my shit, right? That's my biggest concern with them. It's not that they're closed source. Yes, it's annoying. However, my whole thing is the proprietary closed source in combination with a Chinese company having a network device on my private home network that also has a camera. And there's the other thing too is like if I'm sending my STL files, especially for products, to be printed and it's on their cloud server, if they have a breach or they have somebody at their company that decides they want to steal designs, it's really easy for them to do that. Now, I'm not saying that they have done this. I'm just saying this is a risk with any cloud service. Even with, like, for example, cameras, all my cameras, I have 24 IP cameras here. I have a lot on the business side. I have a lot on the personal side. They're all recorded locally, and those cameras have no access to the internet. The reason for that is I've seen way too many stories of people getting their cloud cameras hacked by people because of weak security, either on the customer side or on the side of the company providing the service. I've also seen these companies give footage to law enforcement without a subpoena, just hand it over willy-nilly. I want control over my data. Even with our customers, we're not using Shopify for our website. We have a WordPress site that's, we rent server space to host the files. We don't sell the customer data. I'm very picky about what interacts with our system. Our help desk system is all self-hosted right here on my server in my own house here. I take privacy very seriously. I worked in IT for over a decade, and I've seen a lot of shit. And the cloud stuff and don't get me wrong, I like the smart stuff. I have tons of smart home stuff, but it is all local in my own house. So that methodology extends to everything in my life. I don't like Creality's cloud either. Like, it's not just me hating on Bamboo. Any of this stuff that's cloud connected, especially from a Chinese company, I don't trust it. And even from a U.S. company, they're just as bad. Like I said, where you have, I think it was Ring, where they found out that they gave law enforcement. This guy found out they gave law enforcement access to the camera that was in his freaking bedroom without his consent or even notifying that it was that access was facilitated.
Bye.
Take it easy, Luke. Luke, you got my cell phone number. Call me. Just call me at random times. If I can talk, I'll pick up. If not, I'll call you back. But yeah, like, it's the thing is, when you guys rely on these cloud services, especially, just in general, I'm just going to say cloud services, you're trading convenience for your privacy, regardless of what it is, whether it's a camera or a printer or a Wi-Fi switch, that turns your lights on and off. You're trading convenience for your privacy. So, and this kind of stuff it's not a problem until it is, right? So, yeah, I mean, that's the other thing too. I was thinking about this because, everybody, there was like, all that stuff for, I think it was in New York, where they were trying to get background checks to buy a printer because they're so scared of the 3D printed guns. And
Yeah,
I was thinking about this,
pretty sure
like
it was New York.
what would stop companies like Creality or Bamboo from identifying and having a repository of known firearm files and then saying, hey, no, you're not allowed to print this on your printer. You know, that'll never happen with this printer right here. Prusa Slicer. I'll tell you this right now. If Prusa Slicer put that in, I would fork Prusa Slicer and strip out anything that detects those. Like, you know, that's the nice thing about open source. If they want to do something like that, you can go, screw you. I'm going to go modify the source code and make my own fork. You know what I mean?
And there's always another slicer, even if that happens.
Yeah. But the point is, this thing is stupid. These printers are stupid, and I like them stupid. We shove G code into them, and they push hot plastic out the nozzle. They don't care what we're printing. All they do is what we tell them to do. You know, they're not like the Bamboo.
Says it all the time, but they're glorified hot glue guns. Is what
you know, they're not like the Bamboo printers. Like, I don't ever have to worry about any of my printers randomly starting up in the middle of the night and smashing their hot ends into prints and causing hundreds of dollars of damage and hours of time because a cloud screwed up. That will never happen with my printers. They will only do what I tell them to do. They're only accessible on my local network here. And if I want to access them outside the house, I have a VPN through my router to connect into my house, and it puts my phone on my home network. You know, there's trade-offs to everything. You know, part of me, if we did get a Bamboo printer, the first thing I would be doing is sitting down and see if I can do it on my firewall side, but I was thinking about creating a product that's basically like a little tiny, like probably using like a Pi or something with custom software on there that basically you would plug into. No, that's a little too slow. I mean, you probably could, but it'd probably be too slow. But basically having something that could broadcast its own Wi-Fi. You plug it into your network, and it's basically like its own little access point, and it would only allow the devices connected to that. So you would connect the Bamboo to the access point that's broadcasting, and it would only allow LAN access. So it would look at what is your LAN address, because it'll obviously get DHCP from your network. It goes, okay, this is the subnet I'm on. So we're only going to allow access to this subnet. We're not going to allow DNS lookups. We're not going to allow routing out the default gateway. Only local access. So basically, even if Bamboo decides to try to do something, the printer can't talk to the internet. It's still on your network, so you can still access it from your computer. But you know what I mean? Something like that. Now, I have Unify equipment, so I could easily say, hey, in my Unify dashboard, hey, this device does not talk to anything else. This gets no internet access, nothing. But most people don't have routers that are capable of that. So that was one of the products I was thinking about working on, is basically like, you know, a neuter box that would neuter the internet connection for the printers, and you just connect all your printers. You'd only need one box. You could have, you know, dozens of printers all connected to there, and they would only have local access. So, you know, and there's a lot of software solutions that are already existing that we could port over to the Pi, you know, like OpenSense or whatever, that basically be its own little router. Everything would connect to that. And then basically it's like, screw you. You only get LAN access. You can't call it. You can try calling out the internet until your heart's content. You're not getting anywhere. You know what I mean? So I don't know if that's of interest to anybody. Speak up, chat. What do you guys think? Is that something that you think would be something people would buy, or do you think people just really don't give a shit about their privacy anymore? Because I do.
With how they've been selling, I honestly think a lot of people don't care, unfortunately.
And here's the thing with this kind of stuff, it's not going to be people are not going to care about it until it's a problem, until things start happening. Like, I don't ever want to have to worry about I don't ever want to have to worry about something being compromised like that. So what is dead cord? I use dead cord on my PC. That's why I use dead cord. I'm thinking like Discord.
I know. So it looks like it from a glance.
Is this a program? I'm searching dead cord.
Is it dead card?
DEADCORD. Dead cord. Because Matt German says he uses it. Tactile 3D says he uses it.
Yeah, I keep getting results for det cord. It's like, well, that's one way to make sure.
What are you guys talking about? Yo, I'll tell you this right now. I'm waiting on a good open source solution that works to replace like the Google Homes. The only reason I said screw and I have the Google Home is because I carry a cell phone with me that's running their stuff. If they want to listen to me, the phone's always on me or within earshot.
I already know they're listening to me. I've just talked about things before with people like on Discord, and with it's like random.
Oh
things,
yeah,
like a flail.
there was what was
fucking flail, and Amazon started recommending me flails.
Yeah.
I did not.
Was something that came out. I can't remember if it was something I watched on Rumble, because we're also live streaming on Rumble. Is anybody watching on Rumble? I should check here.
No.
But yeah, I didn't search anything. I never typed anything. We were just. It was like a Discord call with friends, and we're talking.
No, we have eight people watching on Rumble right now.
Seriously?
Yeah, there's 8 people watching.
Oh,
and
I can only see
like within
3.
hours, I have Amazon ads for like medieval flails. It's like,
yeah, no, I mean that's the thing. Like, that's the thing. Like, there was a there was a thing that came out where they basically a dead cord, like to nuke your computer. Yeah, I'm not going that crazy. I'm like looking for a freaking program. You guys are talking about this stuff. I can't remember what I was talking about, but there was stuff that just released where basically the whole thing where you're like you're saying, you're talking about something, all of a sudden you get ads for it. It was something, and Apple and Google both do this, where they don't report directly to the agencies. They send it to a server, and then the agencies get access to that server, which is nuts. Like I hate this world that we're living in with all this stuff. Like, don't get me wrong, I like technology and stuff, but like I'm tired of everybody violating our goddamn privacy. You know, and anybody that's like, if you have nothing to hide, then you have nothing to worry about. No, screw you. I'm entitled to my damn privacy.
Yeah, there is zero reason I should have gotten ads for that.
Yeah.
Besides them listening.
It happened to me. Like, there's stuff I've just only talked about, and then I start getting ads for it. Like, what the fuck? You know, part of me wants to like disconnect all, like just keep my phone off for a while, or maybe just switch to like a shitty flip phone or something for a little bit, because I have a SIM card. Just pop it out and put it in there, and just do like an experiment, like talk about random things and jot down what I'm talking about and see if anything comes up, right? But I'd also have to then, like, anybody I'm around, like Krista would have to not have her phone on, or I would have to be mindful of like talking around her phone that's listening. There have been tons of times where I've talked about stuff. I've never even looked it up. I've never searched it. I've never typed it to anybody, and I start getting ads for it. Okay, I already tell right now the little horns are coming out. The like overhang on the horns are coming out cleaner, which I would expect. Like, this is dual ducting on either side with a fan pushing a lot more air. I love the little Ender 2 Pro. It's been a good little printer.
I love my old Ender 2.
It's been great.
I need to talk to my cousin, see how he's been having his time with it, if he's even used it.
I hate that term, Jerry. The new normal. Fuck the new normal. I have been, so I will be, so starting next year, we're not doing it this year, but starting next year, I'm going to try to tone down on the swearing and stuff, unless it's absolutely necessary, on our streams and stuff.
How many bamboos do you have, Jerry? Just curious.
Yeah, Jerry, you got bamboos. You got your little Chinese spy printers. There we go. You see how quick that thing moved a bed away? It's like I heard the motors go. All right. All right. So we want to look at the overhangs here. Look at how clean those came out.
A little bit of stringing, but not bad at all.
Yeah. I mean, I am running the Ender 3 profile on here, which is not what, I mean, it's close. Could use a little tuning, maybe a little more retraction. But in general, look how clean that came out.
Pretty
Oh
good.
yeah, that filament looks great too.
This is our silver PLA. This is our standard Easy Choice silver PLA.
Now printed in Raspberry.
And Raspberry, yeah. All right. So, Krista, your printer's all done.
Well, thanks.
So that's about all I had. How many of you guys? I appreciate everybody stopping by. I'm gonna go ahead and remove the printer from here. Now we can just kind of hang out and BS for a little bit. So I do want to talk, since we got people here, about ideas for. I'm getting hung up on like the naming for the new sequence, and I was thinking about calling it like TH3D Nation, because it could be written as like the 3D Nation with the 3 being the E. You know, something like that. I need a name for it, and I've been going back and forth. This is one of the things I've been getting hung up on, because I need to then make, obviously, like the images and stuff to like put in the StreamYard. Yeah, and I can't do that until we have it. Now, I do have a show layout that I've been working on, and I'll kind of like put it up here. Yeah, I saw, Jerry, you got a fiber laser. Let me know how it is. It's one of the toys I have not bought. I can't really justify it, so if someone wants to send one, I would gladly check one out. Let's see, video content. So I got the new show planned. So I have like a 5-minute. It'll be like broken up. So the goal is about an hour long show. We're gonna have, so the first 5 minutes will be like the welcoming, like an overview of what to expect, and then if we have any special guests or really special topics to discuss, 10 to 15 minutes will then be like news and updates. So we're going to find stuff from the 3D printing world that's popular, talk about that. We're going to talk about stuff for like what's going on with the company, any new products we're working on, any new product announcements, that kind of stuff. So there'll be like first 20 minutes will be the opening, and then like news and updates. Now, the third part is going to be the Q&A session. So 30 to 40 minutes, we're going to have a Q&A session. And what we're going to do is we're going to tell people to post their questions in the chat while we're doing that. And I'm also, and actually, no, we're not going to do the chat. I'm going to make it, I'm going to jot this down here, because this will make it easier.
So you're repping our merch.
I'm going to go ahead. I had that shirt on yesterday. I had this shirt on yesterday. I love my paperclip leveling. Oh. So what I'm going to do is, since we are on multiple platforms.
Merry Christmas, Scott.
Yeah, same to you, Scott. Merry Christmas. Should it be Merry Christmas for the doggos? They're both passed out. Can you see them back there? Watch this.
Oh, wait.
The little guard dog is already watching me. I'm leaning towards the bag of their. Immediately. Immediately.
Because he knows.
He knows. We're going to give you guys some treats because you're good doggos. Well, Remo's a good doggo. Comet peed on the Christmas tree the other day. Within an hour of it being set up, he's like, this looks like a tree. I'm going to lift my leg. So
we were gone for 30 minutes. He peed twice.
Can we sit? No. Shake.
Oh, kitty. It's kitty hour. I prefer kitty hour.
Comet, come here. Comet, come here.
Yeah, both of them.
Comet, come here.
No, this is more important.
Shake. Shake. Give me your shake. No, Remo, get out of the way. Shake. Good boy. Comet, come here. Come on, Comet. No, you're not Comet. Comet, come here. Up. Comet. You dumb dog. Comet, come on. Comet, up. Come on. Go. He's so dumb. Remo, can we sit? Touch. He's like, I touched your hand. Give me the treat. There we go. Comet, I have a second one for you. Can we sit?
Make him lay down.
Oh, hang on. Comet, sit. Can't really see him. Remo, you had to. Down. Okay, he went down. All right. So I'm going to set up a form on the website, and I'm going to post a link. So basically, no matter what platform we're streaming on, because we are going to multi-stream, we are paying for the StreamYard, which allows us to multi-stream and have the guests and stuff like this. So I'm going to have a form where people can submit their questions. And on top of that, I'm going to have it so they can upload files. So like, let's say you need help with your configuration or you want me to look it over. You can send your configuration file in. If you want to send pictures of your machine setup, you can do that. So instead of trying to deal with a bot that handles all these different platforms, I'm just going to have a form. The other thing I was thinking about too, because I know you guys like screwing with my stuff back here and changing the lights, is just having like a page where you can just click a button and do it. So I'm trying to optimize the whole thing. The whole point of killing off Ask Tim is to start over with something brand new. I want to have it where it's not just me, because it's not just me at the company. Like we have Krista, we have Tor, we have my buddy Matt too that works out in the shop. Like I want to feature more people. I also want to bring guests in. So, but yeah, so we'll have the Q&A session. So I think what we'll do is, like I said, we'll have a form which I can set up where you guys can put your question in. You can upload additional files, which will be helpful. So it'll be better than just typing a question in chat. I also then don't have to worry about missing it because it'll just go, basically it'll just send me an email with your information.
And then we can get a lot more information.
Yeah, the other thing too is, like, let's say I don't get to the questions, I can like make a ticket and follow up with the person, or we can save it for the next show. I think that would be like something good. And I would want to have, like, because I think Tor, we had talked about, you probably be on most of the shows, so you can probably run. And also you have a different perspective on things than I do, because even though we're both in 3D printing, you are into different stuff. Like you're more on, you have gone way further into like the Clipper space. You've done the Voron build and stuff. I haven't done that stuff yet. So, and we do get questions about that. So you'd be better suited to answer questions on those type of things and give people guidance. The other thing I have here, and this will be like kind of a flexible segment depending on if we have something, and maybe I'll put this in the form if this is have like different options, whether this is like, hey, I wanted to show this off versus this is a question, like have like a little checkbox so we know, but have like a little community showcase where you can send your prints in, you can send your printer builds in, and then if you wanted to, we can then even use it because we try to find somebody to feature in our newsletter every week. We can also then maybe have chat select who they want, or we'll have content for the newsletter too. And the other thing too is, like, if you also run a small business and, let's say you have an Etsy shop or something and you sell, prints and stuff or whatnot, like I would love to be able to feature and give you guys a shout out to drive people to your site. Like I'd love to help out other small businesses. Like we don't have a ton of reach, but we do have a fairly active email list. We have over 23,000 people on there, and our open rate's over 50% on most of our emails. So we get a lot of eyeballs on the stuff. Also, then we could also post things onto our website as like a news post. I kind of want to do like a post for each show, have like show notes. So basically after the show, there'll be a post on our website, just like a news post where you can then, let's say we're talking about a cool thing and we have a link to that thing, you can go look at the show notes. You know what I mean? So that's a thing I saw. I like a lot of the podcasts and other shows I listen to, they have show notes where the people watching can then go click that and get more information on the content. So that way we're not having to worry about updating the description. We can just update that one post for that show. And then I have here, so like tips and tricks. I got a little segment here, so we'll try to come up with something that's like a quick little 5-minute thing of something that either Tor and I or whoever we have else on here has like a tip or trick that we want to share with you guys. And then we'll have our closing and our outro. So that's the plan I have put together. If you guys have any other ideas for the name, I think I'm going to run with the TH3D Nation. It's kind of a nod to how many of you guys remember the website Dig? DIGG. Does anybody remember Dig? I feel like most people probably.
I remember the name. I don't remember going to it.
So Dig was popular before Reddit. And they used to do a show where every week they would round up the top posts on Dig, and they called it Dig Nation, DIGGNATION, Dig Nation. And they would show off and talk about whatever the top posts were on that site for the week. And I really enjoyed it. So, I want to have this more interactive. I want to have more community showcases going on, and just make it more of a fun thing to do, and not like I said, it's not like we do the video streams to kind of hang out and show people stuff. My goal when we're doing streams is not to push our products. Like we're going to mention them because they do pay our bills, but I want to do something fun that's going to keep people coming back and help them out. So. But yeah, so that's what I have. I'm probably, like I said, unless anybody has any other ideas for the name of what the show is, probably just going to run with the TH Radio Nation so I can start getting the start getting all the graphics and stuff made and get that live. So I'm trying to see when is so January 1st is a Monday, so definitely not gonna be a Monday. So maybe my target will be to have it on the first official show will be on January 5th. Who else do we know? Does anybody in the community do shows on Friday? I know Moses is Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or is he Tuesday, Thursday? Because I know Jerry does Saturdays.
I think he's Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Is it Monday, Wednesday, Friday? Because I don't want to I want to be competing with other channels for eyeballs. So while we're talking about this, I'm gonna put a little discount code together, and I'm gonna make it just because I know
Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's Monday, Wednesday, Fridays.
Yes.
Yeah, so like we want to have we have like the banners here, so like we'll have banners and stuff to promote our things on here because we got to pay the bills. Okay, Krista.
Have a good night.
Bye.
We're almost done here, anyways.
Only 7 days a week.
Wait, Krista. There we go. Okay. Let me see here. I need to post. Where's my here? Marketing coupons. Let's see. Just gonna make a just a generic one. Percentage off 50. I'm gonna use usage limits. We're gonna do limit per coupon. I'm gonna do the first 20 customers here. Let's see. I'm gonna add the 50 milliliter and the 100 milliliter bed cement. You guys want to try it out? I'm gonna get you hooked, get you in with a discount. And you'll be like, "Damn, this stuff is good." It's not that expensive without the code. It's like $10 and $20. So you can get one for $5. All right, so here we go. 50% off. First 20 customers only. There we go. It's posting. I'll post it on Rumble too. There we go. Use the code CTKWE9YB. I need to put here, add new coupon category, streams. There we go. So I know what this is. So there you go. If you guys place the order before noon Central Time, it will go out tomorrow.
Yeah, 14 hours, 12 hours.
There you go. All right, that is all. That is all up to date. Thing. I just respond to a product question here. Let's see. Answering questions for customers. Okay. Alrighty, that's all I have. I'm so. Why is chat so? We got like over 30 people watching. Chat's not very popular. I'm surprised. We got to figure out. So basically, I still need to figure out the what day and time
Not
we're gonna
this, like,
have. No. I was thinking probably like closer to like 6 o'clock because like I feel like even like that like during the day everybody's at work, right? Towards like the tail end of the day, like 6-ish, we're gonna get more people because they're at home.
just getting off, relaxing after a long day.
Yeah. And then we're officially closed at 6, so we wouldn't have to be worrying about like dealing with tickets and stuff and live chat after that. So, but yeah, that's about all I got. Does anybody have any questions before we wrap this up here? Bueller. Tor, I see your little plane back there. Does that thing fly again?
No, not currently. I need
what did you do?
Update it. I haven't actually flown that one.
Oh, wasn't there another one that you flew?
I've mostly drones.
Yeah,
but I had that, but I haven't had a chance to fly it yet.
Okay.
Just because it needs a big area.
Yeah. Yeah, and I just placed a big polymaker order too. So we have a lot of polymaker coming in about a week and a half here. I got new products coming in too. So there's gonna be new stuff popping in. Also, those of you guys that like we're looking at like the SD extensions, I was able to actually get those in, so we'll have those in our store too as well. The other thing I'm noticing too, and I feel like we need to market on this too. So like I try to avoid spending money at Amazon whenever I can. But there's just certain things I can only get from there. Now, I do not pay for Prime because I try to give, Daddy Bezos as little money as possible. And the thing that pissed me off is I have an order I placed on December 8th. Okay. They did not even ship it until today. Like I'm checking here. It's finally showing shipped. So they sat on that order for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. They set an order for 5 days. And I feel like, here's the thing. We ship out same day or next day. Like we ship faster than Amazon. And Amazon basically says, screw you. You're a second-class citizen if you don't pay for Prime. Like it's like they're artificially making those packages take longer to just ship them. It's not like they're shipping them via slow shipping service. Because at this point, let's say they shipped it like via USPS on that day I ordered it, I would have it by now. But instead, they're just sitting on it because they want you to pay for Prime. And I think there is some of the value of being like, hey, no matter, if you got a $5 order or a $500 order, we're shipping them all at the same speed. We're not going to, make you pay a membership fee just to actually have us take your order seriously and ship it in a reasonable amount of time. Because 5 days
with Prime.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, yeah, with Prime, that's the other thing too, is like with Prime, I've even had stuff, and that's another thing that made me not, other than the fact that I just don't like them as a company. And, they removed my accountability to leave reviews because I kept posting every time I would get stuff sent to me that was used. They want to cover that up. But like, they literally just make it sit there and take longer if you're not Prime, or if you pay extra for the faster shipping. Like they're artificially delaying because this is coming via their courier. So,
and a lot of the stuff now is just AliExpress reselling.
Yeah.
Or Alibaba or whatever.
Yeah, you got a lot of companies that are just these Chinese companies that are dumping containers of stuff to Amazon, and that's it. So there's like no QC. And there was actually an interesting thing. I was watching Strange Parts, and I sent Tor the clip the other day. Actually, maybe I can pull it up.
Well, you said that.
Share it on here.
The air pump that I got that has a battery backup. That's just AliExpress bullshit, and it was the power input was wired backwards. So it
did it have a QC sticker?
The battery. It did.
Did it have a QC sticker? Because it's saying
when I got it, it ran through because the battery was somewhat charged, and I wanted to see how long it would go, so I left it unplugged. But when I plugged it in, it just got hot. I was like, "What is going on? It's not charging and it's not turning on." I opened it up, and there's no plug. They soldered it backwards.
Wrong. Yeah. I'm trying to find. When did I send that to you? Because I found the pictures of our shadow mode setup. It was like
that was.
I know I sent it to you on
Saturday
Teams
or Sunday
'cause-
night.
Was it Sunday night? Okay, Sunday. Oh, here it is. Hang on, let me. I'll play. Hang on, I'll play this clip here. I don't think we'll get struck. It's only 12 seconds here, but this and this is, yeah, this is the thing that people don't realize when you're ordering stuff from China. This is the kind of stuff they do, and when stuff is really cheap, there's a reason for it. Okay, so I'm gonna play this clip right here. So this is clip from inside the world's most famous LED factory in China, which is a really interesting video. You guys should watch it. Here, so listen to this. Tori, let me know if you can. You just give me a thumbs up if you can hear the audio. It says it's sharing it, so we'll see.
They did say that they don't throw away the LEDs that they're marking no good. They sell them off at a much reduced price below actually the cost it takes to make them, but they get to recoup some of their costs. Let's go see the next step, which is packaging. They did say that they don't throw away the LEDs that they're marking no good. They sell them off at a much reduced price.
So the stuff, the parts that don't test good get sold off to other companies. So where those parts end up, you don't know. So that's why we're super picky about where we get our stuff from. Like my suppliers, when I'm ordering stuff, and they don't even give me the cheaper options because I told them I don't want them. When I'm ordering stuff, like let's say just for Hotend, for example, they can get it from multiple different factories. So what that means is I can get different grades of products. So then they usually refer to them. I've heard of different things, but multiple have referred to them as like grade A, B, C, or D. Okay. And what that means is how nice of a product, how good of a quality product you're getting, and the prices are lower on the lower grade products. So let's say like a grade D Hotend. This is just for example. A grade D Hotend, it will look like a Hotend. It'll have all the stuff that's there, but maybe the heater cartridge didn't pass QC. Maybe it's too high of a watt or too low of a watt, or the quality of the machining on the metal parts, like there might be burrs and stuff,
yeah.
or it didn't get machined out all the way, and they're like, this is good enough. They're not going to notice. That's the big difference, especially with dealing with the Chinese companies, is they don't like stuff that we would throw away and mark as not sellable. They will sell to people.
Yeah, I'm sure Jerry's been around just as long as we have in the groups. A lot of the like cheap brass nozzles where they weren't even drilled out.
Oh yeah, where they're drilled out. Yeah, there was a picture somebody posted. I think it was in one of the Creality groups.
I've gotten screws that weren't
that have no threads.
or
yeah,
no insert for a hex key or what have you. It's like,
yeah.
How did this pass?
I'm trying to find the picture here. But it was like some guy's nozzle on his printer, the whole damn tip of the nozzle, which I don't get how this even happens, like how it was even manufactured like that. Like how this even came to be. Hang on. Let me see.
Or the first versions of the Ruby nozzles where they were getting pushed out of their sockets.
Yeah, so here, and I've seen this before. It's just, this is a really good picture of it. Window, here we go, photo.
Oh, yeah.
That's the tip of the nozzle. That just fell out.
That has to be like some sort of Diamondback knockoff. Because I think that looks
it's
like
not this. Look, that looks like brass, though. I've seen this happen with regular brass nozzles. My whole thing is, though, I know the nozzles we sell, like even our cheap nozzles, are all one piece. So, like, how did this even happen? Because this is not like it cracked off. This is
that's not brass. That's steel.
Oh, is it steel? I can't tell from the color. Either way, it should all be a one piece where it's machined out and then drilled. Like, how does this even happen? Like, that's the thing. Like, are the nozzles? It's like, oh, this looks like this has a little defect. Is this a nozzle that wasn't thrown out? It was just sold to someone else, and then they're shipping it to Amazon or whatever.
That's definitely an insert. I can tell by you can see it by that rounded edge.
I like here, but here's this is filament riding up here.
Well,
and this looks like
Micro Swiss just came out with those type of nozzles.
I know that, but usually it's not that far up. Either way, like crappy nozzles. Like our nozzles that we have, we've never had this happen because they are one piece. They're machined out of one piece. Like it's crazy. So, but yeah, that's the whole thing is like it happens. I'm assuming it happens in all the industries. That's the other thing too, is like when we talk about the parts on our easy boards being better quality than the Big Tree Tech and the Creality boards, is we are not buying chips from these random Chinese sellers. We are buying chips from reputable vendors. And by chips, I mean everything: the capacitors, the resistors, the voltage regulators, the drivers, the screw terminals, like the CPUs, everything is from reputable vendors. We're not going and trying to find a way to save $1 on the board that ends up making it, be an unreliable product. It's like you got to make sure your supply chain that is nice, right, and doesn't, isn't filled with this crap. Let's see here.
From their imagery, it looks like one of those or a knockoff.
Well, I can tell you right now, like, because this is machine.
No, look at the next picture.
No, I know, but what I'm saying is it did not look.
Machine.
It wasn't a nice machine, like, because it didn't have these.
That's
like,
what I'm thinking.
on the
It's
side
like a
here.
clone,
like a knockoff of this, maybe. Yeah, I was gonna say because Microsoft makes some good stuff.
Yeah.
So, and these look nice. I'll have to see. Yeah, those are $22. Wow.
Joel just did a video on them. They're like, I think they're like hand assembled for a lot of them.
They probably paid a lot to have Joel feature them. Joel doesn't feature anybody for free, as far as I know.
Mm-hmm.
You got to pay for that. Yeah, no, Microsoft makes good stuff. We sell Microsoft. We have our own nozzle. That's why we don't carry their nozzles. I don't know if people would be willing to pay $22 to $23 nozzle. People have a hard time paying us for paying us $12 for ours. So we have our Easy Flow nozzles are a copper alloy core. We do have the nickel plating just like they do. The difference is here they have the tip insert here, and then they have an extra coating on here. Ours supposedly have a coating on them, but I found in general, like all brands, like I've tried coated nozzles from Microswiss, and they don't
gunked up either
way. They still get gunked up. So it may be true that they have a coating, but does it really make a difference? I don't think it makes a difference really much in terms of the filament not sticking to it. I will say though, the Easy Flow nozzles are easier to clean. They do clean up better. Like when you take a wire brush to them, they do clean up really nice versus the brass, but it could just be from the plating.
Yeah, it really depends on your use case. If you're printing a hell of a lot of carbon fiber or something with a lot of abrasive material in it, like even higher carbon count than our CF.
The CF filament.
Like I understand getting one of those if you just don't want to mess with it and you're in a production run for stuff.
Yeah, I'm actually checking your order because I shipped you one of our nozzles. Looks like
I
it'll
think
be here
that's on
Saturday.
the 6th. Yeah.
Yeah,
I just got the TPU today.
Okay. Did you like the TPU?
I do. I love the blue.
The blue is nice. I should have ordered more blue. I was not expecting to sell out of the blue. I actually got to reorder quite a bit of our filament because we sold through quite a bit. Everybody's been really happy with it. I mean, I burned up 3 rolls in like 24 hours doing a customer job, and everything printed perfectly. So I've been very happy with our supplier on those.
Oh yeah, they've been great.
Yeah. So yeah. Anybody have anything else? Because I'm gonna wrap this up.
Yeah, I need to get
to bed. Yeah. Yeah, it's 1:30. This is early for me. I can bring Krista her printer back down.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. Anybody? Bueller? What's up, Jeremy? Make sure you can go ahead and rewind and watch the video. It was a nice little stream. Something quick. So I do have printers that I need to get on here. Is doing some work on the Ender 5 S1 and the Sova SV05. So 2 more cube printers that I'm going to wrap up here before the end of the year. And I'm thinking we just go ahead and do the K1 after that, and then do the
knock them out.
yeah, knock them out and then move on to start getting the Ender 5 for the Merc 1 build is sitting in the garage now. It got moved from
I've
the
seen
shop.
that on the cameras, just slowly moving in a circle around the
It
shop.
was moving around the shop. I told Matt, just bring it in. I was like, so because I'm trying to get, I have sitting on the other side of the bench here, I've got the SVO5 and the Ender 5 S1. Those need to get wrapped up. And I'm trying to think of the printers I have left in the boxes. I got the K1, which will be the next one we unbox. I do have an Ender 3 S1 Pro. That one's lower on the priority list because it's just an older machine, but that one's a nicer machine. I'm going to give that to my mom. And then I've also got the Sola SVO7, which is a repackage from John over at Tripod's Garage. And then I have 2 resin printers. One's doing the box. I think one's an EPAX. It's a smaller one. And then I have a Creality Hellet Sky that needs the screen and the board replaced. I'll probably do a hangout stream like this while I'm working on that. So I'm going to start getting back into resin stuff. I'm not going to go crazy.
I packed
What's
up
that?
my resin today.
Yeah, I'm gonna have them just because there have been times now where it would have been nice to do resin stuff. The other thing too is I was also thinking about we could offer certain things printed in resin too, especially like high tab resins and more complicated fan ducts and whatnot. So yeah, that's something I was thinking about getting into and offering because I think too it'd be a good value add if we had some resin options for printing because not a lot of people have resin printers
Or want to deal with
they're messy, like that's the thing. But like if we can get some good stuff that is like in resin, I think people will be willing to pay the extra for that, like having certain duct options and mount options in resin instead of FDM.
What have you?
Yeah, like mainly a lot of smaller stuff is what I'm looking for, So
I'm not touching another resin printer unless it's bigger because
the Hellet Sky is a pretty big one.
I could never really get stuff I wanted printed on the resin printers.
Yeah, well that was the thing. Matt gave me a Hellet Sky. It's an 8.9 inch screen, so it's a 8.9. Well, where's the millimeters? Don't give me the millimeters because everything's in damn millimeters now. This is the Hellet Sky. Oh, this is the Hellet Mage. The Hellet Sky. Where's the Hellet Sky? I know it's a bigger one.
7.5 inch by 4.7 inch. Why is this in inches and everything else is in millimeters? 192 by 120 by 200.
Okay, yeah, I found it on here. So that was a $1,000 printer. They actually have it on sale for $199 right now, and it is a mono LCD, which is what my old ones that I got rid of were not mono LCDs. They printed well, but yeah, 192 by 120 by 200. I could fit a lot of small parts on there if we're printing customer stuff. Oh my god, this is hilarious! Hang on, I'm on Creality's site. Hang on.
They have.
Hang on.
They have this video.
Matt's right there.
I just saw that too.
Hello, everyone. It's Matt from Akuma.
We have that printer.
This is the printer. So the LCD and the board, I guess, screwed up. And so I have to replace that. So yeah, this is apparently the printer I have sitting, and he got rid of it. Do you see all the printers in the background here of his video?
Are those all A-nets? He has a stack of A-nets.
This is all.
Dear God, why?
Stop by. But yeah, like he said it's a good printer. He said the resolution's good. I mean, it'll be more than enough for the stuff I want to do. So, but yeah, so I'll have a larger one. I just want to get a wash and cure station. And then those are not going to be in my office here. They're going to be in the garage on the workbench on the side here because I don't want to smell the resin. I hate the smell of resin. So, but anyways, I'm going to wrap this up. I appreciate everybody stopping by. Tori, you got anything to add before we wrap this up?
All good. You guys have a good night. It's been a fun stream.
All right, guys. I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. We'll see you later.
See you.